Hello there. Welcome back to the Sky Guys podcast. We are on to week 4 of Maul Shadow Lord. Chapters 7 and 8 dropped on Monday. We are here to break them all down. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Phillips. Uncle Pete Consory is on vacation this week. He is not around here, but with us today, the new head of the Janks Police Department, Nick Fraietta, is here. Nick, how are you?
Doing pretty good. I was on vacation last week. Pete's on vacation this week, so Pete and I are barely going to talk about the show together, but I'm doing good.
Yep. We did not want to leave us a party here. We do have a underworld contact to help us complete the escape mission here. Max Rauer is here. Max, how are you?
Hey Mike, I'm good. Happy to be back on the pod. It's been quite a bit. Happy to be talking some Maul Shadow Lord.
Yeah, for sure. And Max on the YouTube version, you can see he has his mall behind him, guarding him, so he can finish the podcast with us without being disturbed. So, Max, what about this show so far?
Like I don't know. Um, I liked the last episode as a spoiler. I so I always loved Darth Maul as like a character. I thought his design was very cool. I was always intrigued to learn more about his backstory. It was cool to see more of him in Clone Wars, although is it reasonable that he came back from being chopped in half and climbed up the shaft in the boo? I don't know. I just I don't know where this show is going. I'm like it has some good sequences, things are happening, but I don't know like the end game.
Yeah, I know we've talked about this before. I think you and I talked about that after the year too. I know your issue seems to be like, what is the win condition for Maul? I know Nick has mentioned this as well. It's like you don't know what are we really here for Maul to happen here? Because we know like how his whole storyline ends, and at least you think you know how it ends.
That is, I think, my exact take. Like we know, we know how his story ends from Rebels, right?
Correct.
And I guess this is a little bit of the journey of like how do we get there? Um, but like I, I don't know. Is it that exciting of a journey? Like how he just becomes this like hermit living in I forgot the name of the planet that they find him on with Ezra and the temple and all that. But like I don't know. I just don't know where it's going. I don't know what the goal of the plot is. But I like the action. I like the characters. It's just it feels aimless.
It does have some moments here. We'll discuss this further as we go here. And Nick, I know since Pete's not here, I'll tell you here. If you want to subscribe to this guy, guys, so Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, Amazon, all usual suspects. So search for the Sky Guys here at podcast platforms, find episodes there, and we got some fun stuff coming here, including we have a triple drop schedule for next week because we have a special Star Wars Day episode. We have a Flashback Friday, and obviously our Maul Shadow Lord finale. I mean, you subscribe. There's a lot coming.
A lot coming. We have a movie coming up. We're back in theaters in like 3 weeks in time of recording.
Correct.
It's unbelievable. Um, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on great content for the show and the Flashback Friday stuff and eventually the movie.
Yep, we'll have some fun. We have a movie preview series coming up too. We're working on that here. And Max, you remember this. They can follow us on social media at Sky Guys Podcast on all our favorite social media platforms and email us at skyguyspod@gmail.com.
Sky Guys Pod, not Sky Guys Podcast. I made that mistake before.
Yeah,
Couldn't get it.
someone beat us to it.
Ah,
We have, one of
next
these three,
time.
one of the off-season episodes, Nick. We will try and effort who has this email and try and collaborate with them.
Yeah, I've looked at it before. It's not a Star Wars podcast. I have looked at it before. There is another Sky Guys podcast out there that's not us. But if you Google Sky Guys podcast, it's pretty much just us.
Yeah, we have better SEO.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And speaking of SEO, though, our social media comment of the week here, Nick, we're going to Instagram this week for our social media comments. So let me change things up here. We'll go to this comment from Hank Moody when Pete and I talked a few weeks ago about the Mando and Grogu reunion, Boba Fett, whether it's kind of changed things for the Star Wars universe here. About the merch angle here, Hank Moody underscore says, never consider this, and TBH, it makes a lot of sense, especially because they basically backseated Boba in his own damn show. Really chance to get a lit show for one of the most recognizable and loved characters from all of Star Wars. So, Max, the theory Pete and I, one of the big things was obviously that they were concerned, Disney executives, after the end of Mando 2, like, we have all this Grogu merch. We can't sell if Grogu's not with Mando anymore, so we have to get them back together as fast as possible. So that was one of our theories.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, Grogu is such a merchantable character. You see him literally everywhere. I forget where I just was that I was like, there are Legos, there's plushies, there's advertisements.
He's at the
So yeah, I think
Oscars.
if he's not, is what?
He was at the Oscars.
He was at the, I didn't even watch the Oscars, but okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Right? And so like, yeah, if he's not, if he like, I knew when he left he'd have to be back because I'm like, if he's not on the show, it doesn't make the money, right? And so like, I could totally see them trying to bring them back together as a commercial decision.
Yeah, it makes some sense here. And Nick, I know I've talked about this off there with you. I love how in the pro materials, like they're treating Grogu like he's just an actor in the movie. Like they had
Yeah, I saw a clip today. I don't know what some social media. I don't know what I was on, but it was like the Star Wars page, and it was like a day in the life of Grogu, and it's like 8:30, hair and makeup, like stuff like that, as if it was like an actor, you know?
Yeah, because you see Max back in like the days when they did the Mando season one, like the round tables, like they did that round table set. They have one, I think, like recently. It's like Sigourney Weaver, Favreau, Grogu, and Pedro Pascal all around table.
I mean, I guess it was cute. At this point, I don't know how I feel about it. It is like the puppet of him is really impressive. How it operates, how it works. That it's very like. I mean, I like the practical effects of it.
Yeah, definitely some fun stuff here. And Nick, we have some interesting Star Wars news to cover as well. You want to take us away?
Yeah, let's do it. So, number one, John Favreau was asked in a recent interview if Cobb Vanth was okay, and he said, "Oh yeah, he's still out there."
Answer, answer my
We were
question.
kind of under that impression
Yeah,
that he was, but well, here we go.
official confirmation.
Yep. Next, Sean Levy, who's directing Star Wars Starfighter, said he's currently editing the film. So we are getting progress there. I think that's a release date for next year, right?
Yeah, about a year and a month from now.
Oh, so it's the same time. Okay, it's the same
Yep.
weekend, I guess, as Mandalorian. But all right.
Yep.
Gina Carano said in a recent interview that she spoke on Zoom with John Favreau and Dave Filoni about a potential return to Star Wars. She has a big match coming up, I
Yeah,
believe. What is that? When is that? June or September?
I think it's next month or June. She's fighting Ronda Rousey on Netflix.
Yep. And then maybe after that, she wants to get back into acting. We will see. I'm just going to look real quick the date. It's May 16th, actually.
So about a week and a half about a week before the movie.
Right before the movie that's coming. That's going to be, I guess, the Friday night. They do the Netflix Friday stuff, but
I think
we'll see.
it's a Saturday, I think.
The 15th? No, you are right. Yeah.
16th to Saturday. Yeah. Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, they do Saturday, not Friday night. Obviously, that would make no sense Friday.
Yeah.
Next is Lucasfilm is staging a sneak peek fan event for Mandalorian and Grogu on Star Wars Day. Select IMAX theaters across the country will see the first 25 minutes of the movie. I hate this. I mean, I like that they're doing it. I think it's great, but I would never want to do that.
Yeah, it's such a tease, Max, with that thing too, because like you see the first like 25 minutes, you get cut off. Like, wait, I gotta come back again. And I have to wait a half hour before I actually see something new. I get the idea, make it fun, but like I don't love this.
Yeah, now that you say it that way, I agree. It's sort of like, what's the point? Also, I don't know what your thoughts are there on the movie. One of my friends is like, this movie's gonna tank. Like, it's just gonna be like a cheap cash grab.
I think it'll do okay.
You think
I
it'll do okay?
I think like from what I've seen, it seems like they are a little more optimistic on the early box office than we initially anticipated. So like I think as also thing remember, Max, lower budget on this than a lot of the more recent stuff. So I think it'll be more easy for them to turn the profit.
Okay. Do you think it'll be good? Maybe that's a better question.
Nick, I know like we've been more encouraged the last couple of trailers we've seen.
Yeah, I was under the impression it wasn't going to be good for a while, but then honestly, the trailers have got me kind of sucked in. They look good.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Remains to be seen.
Yep. We will all be seeing it in
But
theaters.
you will be yes, yes. I know. I think so.
Yeah, we're all
I
planning
think
on
so
it.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Nick, speaking of the movie, we do have a little bit of news on that.
Yeah, so the Mandalorian and Grogu will feature a new planet named Shakari.
Yeah.
which is based on the Prohibition era Chicago and will be the home planet of Steven Spielberg's Adrian character, who will operate a food truck selling sandwiches.
So
So a new planet coming to the movie.
you'll find the movie. Max,
This
you
is
were,
like that scene in.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so
I was
you're
saying
aware of the Steve.
it's
Wait, no, you said Steven Spielberg. That's Martin Scorsese, no?
Right, it's Scorsese. I wrote it wrong.
Yeah. So correction, that's Martin
oh
Scorsese.
Yeah, so you're aware of the
this is this
Scorsese.
this I am not aware of the Scorsese thing, but this reminds me of that like episode in Boba Fett where they have like the 50s era car chase with the hover cars. You know what I'm talking about? Like the greasers types.
Oh, Pete's favorite
Like,
episode.
That's Pete's favorite
yeah.
scene.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, we're doing that again. All right.
yeah. In the actual trailer, Max, the scene where like man is looking for information, he goes to the alien like in the kiosk, and he's like, "I need to know about the hut," and he's like, "Okay, time to go." Bye. That's Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark is
Not Sir
actually
Steven
in the
Spielberg.
planet.
Yeah.
Yes. He's actually doing the voice,
All right. Well, that's pretty cool.
which is not the first
Um,
time he's done a voice in an animated movie.
what other
He
anime
was in
movie has he
Shark
done?
Tale. He was in Shark Tale.
He was in he was in Shark Tale. Okay,
Shark
that is some
Tale
fun trivia.
with
Will Smith, right, and Christina Aguilera.
yeah, but there was a bunch of them. Like there was like Robert De Niro was in it, and like there's a bunch of those type of people
Okay, wow, that's
in that movie.
actually that's quite the cast. I remember the movie being
But
like
a bunch
fine.
of like mob type actors were in that movie.
Mm. Oh yeah, because the shark
Like the one
was
from The Sopranos who played Chris and the one who played, maybe I shouldn't say his name, but Pussycat, let's just say that, from The Sopranos.
Uh, oh,
But let's enough
Steve.
about Shark Tale.
Oh, Steve Shrippa.
Yeah.
wasn't the shark in Shark Tale like the son of a mobster? Is that why?
Yeah, it was a mob movie. It was just the guy was just with Will Smith at the same time and
Yes.
Jack Black.
Yeah. So is that it for the news this week?
Yeah. No more Shark Tale news.
All right.
More Shark Tale.
Yeah. Or Star Wars news.
Yeah, no
Oh.
more.
All right, so we're talking about chapter 7 and 8 here of Maul Shadow Lord. Chapter 7, the creeping fear. Chapter 8, I believe, is called to like something to oblivion. Two basically the two that seem to go together very well, Nick. I think this is a nice little setup for the finale here. Like I do think I do see Max's point a little bit, whereas like the Empire stuff kind of, has slowed things down a little bit, at least on Maul's front of the storyline, but I was still entertained by what we got this week.
Me too. This week is as clear as day that they designed this show to be a 2 episode release per week. Like if that episode 7 ending ended like that and we had to wait a week, that would be brutal.
Yeah.
So they picked up right where we left off in 8, but yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of slowed down Maul a little bit. The episodes were pretty good. I will say though, I did see online prior to watching these, I saw on like Monday that episode 8 was incredible and I was expecting so much more. And I thought it was good, but I was like, oh, it's not. I was expecting to see like one of the best episodes I ever saw, and I was like, oh yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that hype too, Max. 'Cause a lot of people were saying, "Oh, episode 8, you haven't seen this thing. It's the best thing ever." And I can see where they were going with it, with the Maul backstory stuff and the flashbacks and sort of like the Dagobah quest journey kind of thing he goes through in the episode. But like, not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but still pretty good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Vision Quest, as you put it. I think that's more what I wanted to see out of this show is like a little bit of a look into like Maul's psyche and past, um, and him as a character. So that is probably the first episode of this whole series that I've been like, oh, that was really good. I agree with Nick. It's not like, oh my God, this is the best Star Wars content of all time. I don't know if it would have cracked your our bracket last year. Um, but it was good. Episode 7 was like it was fine. It was like the rest of it's just been kind of like it's been fine, you know?
Yeah, I think it's been fine. So we'll go to detail here. I feel like not a ton to really go into in terms of like detailed plot. There's a couple, basically three main plot lines we can talk about here. I think we'll kind of, do you want to save Maul for the end here? Kind of just do the Lawson section of the episodes first?
Sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff with the Lawson, Riley, and the Jedi try and get off Janix here. I mean, there's a ton of stuff going on there. We do have the whole thing where Riley and Devin are sort of split up with Maul at one point. They get pursued by the stormtroopers. Riley gets caught. Then they have this whole plot to get him out of prison. A lot of two boots stuff here. In terms of the two boots situation here, Nick, I know like we'll talk about this later in the LVPs. You double tap two boots for LVP last week because he had a very bad week. Big redemption era for two boots here this week.
Oh, absolutely. In numerous fronts too, not just in the obvious one in episode 8. He was also pretty good in 7, like learning, if that makes sense. I
Yeah.
feel like he's kind of not understanding that the Empire was a problem until now, and he's kind of coming to his senses a little bit.
Yeah. So Max, I mean, we talked about this earlier. When he's like shocked that Kleiss is dead, and he's like, "Oh no, they're supposed to take her and just put her in prison or suspend her." Like, no, they're like, "No, bro, she's dead. Like, she's dead." And then he realizes what's happening to Riley, and then he has this choice to make where like he at first agrees to facilitate like the prisoner transfer with Lawson, where he swaps him for his son, and then he just goes full rebellion mode and goes ahead and leaves and makes a big jump here, and like I think it's nice to see like him have this moment where he goes to Lawson. He's like, surprised you recognize me without my boots." And he's like lost, like dude, like you're my boy. I know exactly who you are. So I think that was the bromance is back.
You know what's very funny? I didn't realize why they called him Two Boots until they had the shot where they like panned down to him not having the boots.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that makes sense. No, it's nice to see. It's always interesting how they like humanize the robot characters
yeah,
and seeing Lawson like treat him like a human and his partner and his friend as opposed to just like a robot who's supposed to follow protocol. I think that was like a nice awakening for Two Boots of like, oh, I'm on the wrong side of this by siding with the Empire.
yeah. And he actively defies protocol, which is something he has not shown capability to do yet.
Yes, he actively defies protocol and he helps with the big escape.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love it here. And Nick, very fun line too. Like when Two Boots like goes to Lawson, Lawson's like, "Yeah, it's time for the exchange." And like you see the comments like, "I don't think the exchange is happening anymore." That was funny.
Yeah, I think that Two Boots. I mean, I think this is pretty obvious, but I think he's the comedic relief in the show,
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty obvious. But I still think that that is something to be said. And um, I mean, he had me laughing when he was like, "You didn't recognize me from the boots." Kind of reminded me of the 3PO thing, but I feel like
yeah,
it is better. It actually, I feel like it was better than the 3PO thing, the red arm thing.
yeah, definitely much better.
Voices him.
That was in Force Awakens.
No, no, who voices Two Boots? Do we know his like his
Uh,
voice actor?
I think we looked at this already, but we
we
forgot.
we did forget because I know.
Whoever it wasn't someone that we had heard of and known.
Yeah,
Richard Iotti.
he's a
Yeah.
pretty well known voice actor, I think.
Yeah, but we didn't like I had never heard of him before. I know he's done a lot of voices, but it's not something that we were like, oh, he's in this. Like there was nothing that stood out to me at least.
Yeah, and
He was in
sorry, go ahead, Max.
he was Q90 in The Mandalorian, which I was trying to remember where that even was from.
I think that's the episode you were on, actually. Like the one, like
Well,
the droid from like when they do the prison break.
yes, okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Huh. All right. Well,
Let me look at this guy.
yeah, because I remember we
He
covered
looks
that.
like a bug.
Yeah, Q90 because he's the droid, and then remember like Frogley uses his voice in the second episode. I think you actually were on both times that he was on.
Well, he will actually also he will be in Sonic 4 when it comes out. I don't know if you guys watch the Sonic movies. They're pretty fun.
I've
I've,
seen the
I've heard
first
good
two.
things.
I've seen the first. I've not seen three yet.
Who is he voicing in Sonic 4?
It's
It does not
TBA.
say. It does not say.
TBA. Ooh, secret character.
Yeah, secret
Uh,
character.
well, apparently he's been following me for quite some time.
Oh
Um,
yeah, because it's funny. The two Mandalorian episodes you did were two episodes he was on.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, because he can't because his it's his droid. Because again, Prison Break episode in season one, season two, and Frog Lady hacks in and uses the robot's voice.
Oh, he just Frog Lady's voice. Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and apparently he directed the music video for Fluorescent Adolescent by the Arctic Monkeys, which is a song that I know. I've never seen the music video, but I know the song.
Yeah, so we are a fan of your work, sir.
We- Anyway, I'm enjoying his delivery greatly in two as for Two Boots.
Yeah, and Nick, I know you like to talk. I know you want to talk also about like how you love like how he tries to copy his human colleagues as police officers.
Yeah, I think I noticed this in like episode 4 or something, but I didn't bring it up when we were on the pod, or maybe was I even on that pod? I
You
don't
you
remember
you
now.
had to you had a scheduling conflict that week.
So, but he drinks coffee. Well, he holds coffee as if he's drinking it. He doesn't actually drink it, but he always holds it. And I noticed it at first, and I was like, wait, what are they going to do with this? Are they going to take it out of a shot, or is it an accident that he's holding it? And they never did in the entire scene. That he held it the entire time, and he put it down. And didn't he hand it to one of the Empire guys at one point?
Yeah, he handed the Empire guy his coffee cup.
Yeah, so I think that's really funny that he like drinks his coffee or holds the
Like I
coffee.
noticed that. That's pretty fun. That is very funny.
Yeah, I'm assuming I was joking. I said maybe he puts oil in the cup.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I guess that's the big thing with him is that he was human. He was treated like a human when the Empire wasn't involved, and once he's not, he realizes the error of his ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we just see that going on here as well. I do love the that scene here. Also, give credit to Devin here because Devin again, like very important role here in this. He refuses to abandon Riley because at that point, Doc is like, "Hey, we got to go. Like, you're kind of causing an issue here. Let's just get the hell off world." She's like, "No, we got to save the kid. It was my fault that he got grabbed. I got to get him back." She's like, again, doing a good job piloting a ship. We see that at one point where she steals the craft from the thugs, and also like she's the one who catches first that Lena Wazakaka is leading into a trap. So very good week for Devin Max.
Oh yeah, she is a highly competent character. I also really loved the music during the chase scene. I don't know like whether that EDM track was like one of the sounds in like Jedi Survivor or whether it was from somewhere else. But I was like, this is catchy music, very like cyberpunk-esque.
Yeah,
Like just I don't know, good soundtrack to that scene. But yeah, she's a highly competent Padawan. I don't know. I guess she's been very well trained by Daki.
yeah. Nick, it's been a minute since you had to talk about Devin. Are you impressed with like her character development over the first 8 episodes?
I am. I just don't know what to expect from her. I was under the impression that she was going to join Maul like
Yesterday?
early in the show, like in episode 4, and this hasn't happened. So I guess that the fact that they've already announced the season 2 means that could be something that happens in the finale, or even a cliffhanger that leads to that happening in season 2. So it doesn't have to happen right now. There's still another season to go of this show in terms of at least another season. So like there'll be another. I'm assuming it'll be the same 10 episodes. We don't know, but
Yeah,
so there should be double the content. So it could still happen in season 2,
yeah, for sure. And I think it's
or
also
it doesn't happen at all. Who knows?
I mean, I think if you're basing on the fact that they are copying the storyline that George had, the original sequel plans, where Maul also see a bad guy with like a Twi'lek apprentice, and it's pretty clear. I think that's Devin's supposed to be that. So may matter where we get it, but I do think also the fact that Dio Daki's made it this far in the show surprised me. I thought for sure he would have gone her much sooner than this.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm very. There's two characters that I'm very surprised are still alive. Number one is him, and number two is Dario.
Yeah, Vario.
Varia, excuse me.
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
like shocked that he. Every time I see him, I'm like, wait, this guy's still alive.
Yeah,
Every time I see him.
reminder at the
He's a
end.
little bit of the comedic relief though.
Yeah, before we do predictions, we'll do a death draft and predict who we think doesn't make it out of the season next week.
Now, I mean, honestly, I would think that he wouldn't have made it out of the second episode.
Yeah,
So the fact that he's still around, I don't think I guess I'm not even going to guess that he's gone.
yeah,
I am
Vario.
surprised though that Donkey has survived as long as he has. I thought he was gone a couple of times.
Yeah, Max, what do you think of Dennis Haysbert voicing Daki?
Who Who else does Dennis Haysbert voice? I mean, I like his
The
voice. I think his
Allstate guy,
voice
He's
the
the
is
all
good.
insurance
state.
guy. It takes me out of it. It's too much for me.
He was the all state guy.
Oh,
And if you watch 24, he
oh.
was President Palmer.
Well, you know what? They are in good hands. They are in much like Allstate. They are in good hands of it when Master Daki is involved.
Yeah.
I didn't. Wow, I'm gonna totally see that now. I didn't even realize that. I like it. I've been enjoying his delivery.
Yeah.
I've always, it's interesting though. It's like the more that they try and have a Jedi who survive Order 66, and I know they need to have that to be interesting. I'm like, so this wasn't really like that successful of a purge, right? Like, there's
Well,
just
I think
it
it's
seems like we're just a never-ending supply of Jedi here.
I take it more as like there were like probably like Nick, what do you say like hundreds of thousands of Jedi in the galaxy. You probably wiped
Or
out like
tens of thousands. Yeah.
10,000. You probably wiped out about 98%. I mean, it still leaves you hundreds of Jedi that managed to slip through.
That's how
And
I
I
look at it
guess
too. I think they're trying to establish the universe as being so massive as what we saw in the movies, especially like the prequels, I guess. We only see maybe 100 Jedi total, and we're allowed to believe maybe there's 100 of them, and then we're like, oh, well, 50 survived. That doesn't seem very good. But if like, let's say 150 survived out of 15,000, they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
that's a good point, actually.
But
It just seems
I don't
like
know if they're doing a good enough job at explaining to the audience how many people there were. They're trying. I can see they're trying. With all the times they show Order 66 from a different point of view, you're seeing another person
Get killed.
die and another one escape.
Yeah.
Pretty much every Order 66, like,
Scene.
um, yeah, like moment, like you can say, like, the Jedi Temple where we saw like Grogu get out of there, right?
Yep.
And
And
you saw what's her
Coward.
name, Riva.
We saw Coward and Beck get out, like get him out of there. All.
Yeah, but like usually, like each, I don't know the right word. Moment doesn't seem like the right word, but like each scene of it, if you will,
Yeah.
has one survivor. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. And most of the rest are wiped out.
Which is like, imagine there's 20 people there and they killed 19 of them and one of them got away. That's 95% success rate.
Yeah.
you make a good point. I mean, I guess that we never like. I guess they were supposed to show this in the Acolyte, which they didn't, and maybe the movies. We never really saw the full scale of the Jedi Order, and so if you think of the Jedi Order as like thousands of Jedi, and now it's down to dozens or hundreds, yeah, you're right. It's like 90. They wiped out
Yeah.
95% of the Jedi. It's just they don't show that, and so it feels like, oh, return a quarter. There's another Jedi who survived Order
Yeah.
66. Yeah, but I like Docky. I think he has cool delivery. He has good lines.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying him. I'm enjoying Devin.
Yeah. Were you a 24 guy back in the day?
I was not. I never watched that show.
Yeah. He was President Palmer in 24.
He was the president in 24. Interesting.
The first president in 24.
Yeah, I never saw it either.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great show. Like peak early, like after season 5, you can check out if you want to stop. But it was very good in the early days.
I. It's been a show that I thought I would check out. I have like so many I need
What's
to get
this?
through right
What's
now.
this 24 live another day? What's that?
That's a limited series. That's after the end of the TV show
Is that
run.
worth checking out or no?
That's
So
worth
it's like
checking
a
out.
second
That's worth,
episode.
that's worth checking out.
So if I want to watch that, I got to watch all the seasons, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of characters in there, and there's a lot of like backstory in there. It's like, I would just say try season 1 if you want to try 24. If you're not in immediately, you're not going to be in the show.
Gotcha.
Good
That's good.
recommendation.
A lot of shows are the opposite, where it's like, oh, you got to wait till season 3 to give it a chance. At least one of those shows that jumps you right in, like your favorite show, Mike.
Yeah,
Like Lost.
yeah,
What's your favorite
Lost.
show?
If you don't like season 1, forget
Oh.
it.
yeah. If you're not in on Lost immediately, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Paradise
It's
very
like,
similar to that also.
BoJack Horseman's kind of the opposite of that. That's like, no, you got to watch through like half of season 1 or season 2, and then it's amazing. Which I love that show. It is, but you do have to get through the first couple episodes to really understand.
Same with the Clone Wars, which is why
Yeah.
we're here today.
Yeah,
Yes, the Clone Wars too. Like
Yeah.
season 3 or 4 is when I was like, oh, this show's really good.
And I find I'm going to say this every week, honestly, and I'm going to say this every show that they make in animation. When you look back at 2008 animation and that movie and season 1, and you look at what we have today, it is unbelievable.
yeah, and
Yeah, the animation is excellent.
yeah, I like what they do here with the backgrounds. They paint the background and they do the they do like the cell animation in front of it. I think that works pretty well.
The one thing I've noticed is, and I guess we were going to get into this when we talk about Maul, is it feels like the fight scenes aren't very focused. Like the
Yeah.
camera kind of darts around a lot. Maybe it's because those are the most expensive to animate, but they have like very, very like quick cuts of the sabers, and you don't really get to see as much of the action, I feel like, in certain portions.
They want to try and feel like defy physics for as much as they can when they're in animation because the things that you can do in animation you can't do with a human body.
So they're trying to show more of like the cool movements as
Yeah.
opposed to. All
That's
right,
the
no,
way I look at it.
that's fair. All right. I mean, I also assume, like, I know from Invincible, like those are the most expensive scenes. So if they don't, if they have a certain budget, they want to make sure it's conserved over the remainder of the show and not blown on like these super elaborate fight scenes. Although in a mall show, you'd think that would be the prime thing.
It's funny because last week in chapter 6, when they opened the show, this episode with Maul practicing his moves, I have my notes here like Maul practices moves so Disney can show off animation of lightsabers.
That's a good point. But like I mean the fight scene in this one, and I've noticed it with it, like even with the scene with like Docky and Devin when they're fighting Maul. Like
Yeah.
they're moving around the camera too much. You get like these like little glimpses, and I'm like, can we stay like a little bit focused on like the clash and sabers?
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, in terms of,
Uh,
let me get back
yeah, go ahead.
to Docky though. I will say that like I do like his growing bromance with Lawson. How like he's Lawson and Messon's like yeah like I didn't think you guys were actually traitors. Like I do like that. Like you can also see though like how like there is friction building between him and Devin. Especially like when he's like let's be patient. Like and that drives Devin insane. He's like what do you mean we have to be patient? Like they're hunting us. That's thing one. And then like at the end like we see like the whole thing about like what I was saying, like where Devin, like him, obviously the whole thing about we should leave, like let's not leave, and then we have the whole like there's a lot of stuff with Docky where it just feels like you're being set up to like they're gonna fight, and then like I think we are very heavily being foreshadowed that Docky's gonna die next week.
Yeah, we've been getting foreshadowed that since the first episode.
Yeah,
But I do agree. I did yeah, because I think it goes back to what I said. They've already established there's going to be a second season. They've already announced that. So I
right.
think that we need to understand here that not every storyline needs to wrap up next week on Monday. We could carry things over. We could extend this. So like we're sitting here like, oh, he has to die. She has to turn bad. This and that. Like, it doesn't have to happen. That can happen in season two.
Yeah. I will
I
say like
think he'll die. You're right, but what we expected to happen in episode three could happen in episode 10 because what happens to her after is could be a season two storyline rather than a latter half of season one.
yes. I will also add here we have been getting a little bit of body count built up here. We're talking about one of the Zabrak bros who dies in chapter 7 in a little bit, but like the end of this storyline basically is that like Lena has basically been caught by Blake's crew and he's basically being forced to set a trap for Lawson. She is able to like, give Lawson a code tip off that she's been compromised, and we see that the Jedi basically get them out of the elevator before they can go down. And
Did she die?
I mean, she blows her ship up and takes Blake down
Right?
with her. So
She died, right?
I'm assuming she's dead.
Don't see
Yeah.
her die, but I think it's assumed that she's dead
Yeah.
because she blows up her ship right in front of her.
Yeah, yeah. I'll check the Wookiee see if she's actually dead, but my assumption was she'd not make it out.
I thought so too, but they didn't show it for sure, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like,
I mean, that's what they do when they don't necessarily want to kill off someone, right? They don't show them die, and so that way they can potentially bring them back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or in Star Wars' case, just show it and bring them back anyway.
Fair enough.
yeah. It's just it basically that's like comic rules. Like if you don't see the body, they're not actually dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, I've always said this: the reveal of and spoilers if you have not seen Captain America, Winter Soldier.
That's 12 years. If you haven't seen it yet, too bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I put it out there and just be nice. You want to skip ahead like about 30 seconds. Like the fact they show you Sam Jackson as Nick Fury dead before he comes back later, that really ups the shock value. Like, oh, we saw the body when he's not dead.
That's a good point. Conversely, they don't show Palpatine's body at the end of episode 6, so they left it open that he could return 20 years later.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that crazy. What if you just landed in the ship and flew away?
Yeah, what if there's like a secret garbage chute down there? You just slid down.
Yoda landed in a ship in Revenge of the Sith. Why couldn't Palpatine do it?
Or Maul, they don't show his body. They show it
Yeah.
getting chopped in half. We don't see it just be there. Done.
Yeah, that does happen quite a bit in Star Wars.
It really does.
It's
It's
way a
crazy.
little much. Yeah, but anything else you want to say on the storyline here with these guys who like before we go to the mall stuff?
I thought the car chase scene was really cool. Like where Devin and Docky kind of look at each other, and then
Yeah.
Docky like flips the car up, and Devin like goes through. I thought that was very cool.
The music really was cool. I didn't think I was gonna like. When I first heard the music, I was like, yeah. And then I realized actually this is we're like halfway through the scene, and I was like, actually, this is great.
Yeah, like doesn't she like I mean at one point don't they like throw a stormtrooper basically at the other ship and just or throw a car at the other
They
ship
throw the whole bike. They throw the whole bike at the other ship.
yeah, 'cause it's right because Docky grabs the scalp like just flings it at the assault ship and just blows it up.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, great Jedi stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Wookiee is not give a clear answer on Rena if she dies or not. So
we are not. So she could be back.
she
Yes.
could be. I assume she's dead based on the way this show operates.
I think you're probably right. I don't. I cannot say for 100% certain. Because again, we didn't see her body.
Yeah.
Um,
Or Blake's.
or Blake's.
Because Blake is
Uh,
there. Although he's right next to the ship when it blows up. So like I don't think he makes it.
I want to see if I can find this music from the car chase scene.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty nice music.
the high speeder chase features a high energy score composed by Kevin Kiner, Sean Dina, and is part of the original soundtrack for the series. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess they don't have a specific thing, but it was really good.
Yeah. Was quite good.
Um, ah,
All right. So you want to go on to the mall side of the storyline.
sure. We can go on to the mall side of the storyline, or Nick just had to step
Yeah,
out for
yeah,
like a
yeah.
brief
Nick will be
second.
out. Nick will be out for a second. So you almost get started here. Obviously, there's a lot going on the Maul side here. Like Maul's getting ready to get out of Dodge with his crew. Rook cast Mandalorians. There's a couple of the mercs who are just like trying to get their money. He's like, hey, leave the credits. Like we don't need the credits. Which is instant foreshadowing to like we're gonna fuck you over as soon as we can. Which is basically exactly what happens here. We get the great fight sequence there, and we happy to see Crow Guy show up. Max, we first see in Ahsoka Tales of the Jedi, and then he's just one of the guys in the background in Tales of the Empire.
This is the 11th brother with like the
Yeah,
super cool mask.
yeah, he's called Crow in the show's promo materials.
Interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, he had a really cool design, but a very unceremonious end in Ahsoka. So it's nice to see more of him. Also, Merrick is because that's the other Inquisitor. Merrick is the
Yeah.
guy who Ahsoka kills in like the very first episode of her show, right?
I think he gets in a few episodes, but I think he dies like episode 3 or 4.
Okay. But he is also in, oh, he's the first brother. That's why. He
Yeah.
is also in Ahsoka.
Yes, that's where he debuts, and they started backfilling him in after that.
Okay. But yeah, it was cool to see more of Crow Guy. I think he has a cool design. The Inquisitors are also something where I've always been like, aren't there supposed to only be two Sith? Why are there like 10 or 11? But whatever.
Nick, were you
It's
happy
cool.
to see Crow Guy?
Did you see my face get big for a second?
Yes,
But yes, I did. He is awesome, and he will appear later in this episode if you catch my drift.
I do catch your drift. Well, the audience may not, but we do get this really fun duel between Crow and Marak and Maul, and they do take advantage here. Like that leg injury that Diodaki causes Maul, like really comes back to bite him again. Where like he basically is dead, and very chilling line I think from Crow guy who's like, or was it? I don't know who said it was Crow or Marak who basically says like you don't get to surrender. The Emperor wants you dead.
I believe
And
it was Marak who said that.
yeah, so like he's basically going to die, and then Scorn basically splits off from the crew fighting the stormtroopers, gets involved here, and it gets killed trying to save his boy. So pour one out for Scorn. He had a heroic death for his cause.
Yes, and it's very, very symbolic the way he's killed.
Yeah.
And he's hit with the force push is the exact same way. Not the way he was killed, but it's very not the exact way, but it's very similar to Savage's death.
Yeah. He lives Savage's death in his Vision Quest next episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we do see that here. And Rook's mercenaries end up stealing the ship. There's a lot going on here. I do think like also like we'll circle back to Maul the Vision Quest in a minute here, but I do think like it's interesting to see like the Rook stuff play out where it's like Rook and Icarus and some of her royal Mandos and Vario are just still trying to get off world. And this is sort of the teaser at the end of the episode, Nick, where we get the core Vario apparently like on like reaching out, feels like, hey, I reached out to Crimson Dawn and Dryden Voss wants to talk to you. So we saw him in Solo. I know he appears in season 7 of Clone Wars, I think in the Siege of Mandalore arc. Is this one that pinged you on your radar when they said that name?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's really cool. You think they'll get what's his name back?
Paul Bettany?
Paul Bettany?
I think they can.
I think they will. I'm excited for that. I think that'll be fantastic.
I mean,
It makes sense too. You got to draw the gap here for Solo. I mean, I would love to have. We have a couple gaps to fill in with this Crimson Dawn stuff, and we have the gap of before. I guess really just
Solo.
before and after Solo. Yeah, which is I mean, it's only two gaps, but they need to fill those in. Also, I mean, it is. I don't know if you guys know this, but Crimson Dawn does stick around after that stuff. I mean, if you play the Star Wars Outlaws game that takes place in the original trilogy, they're still kicking.
Yeah, and Max, I know Dryden Voss play at Paul Bettany. I mean, they did in the past Star Wars get Ben Mendelsohn back to voice Krennic and Bad Batch, so I would not be surprised if they have Paul Bettany voicing Dryden Voss here. I think we're a little early on the Kira stuff, but we definitely should be getting like Dryden Voss next week. And I need to see like what his plan is for Maul, because Maul's not exactly operating from a power position here right now.
No, I mean he basically loses like half. It seems like he loses half of his squad
Yeah.
in the altercation with the Empire. I could see, yeah. I mean, Star Wars is a big name, always attracts good talent. I could see them having original characters. I was actually wondering if like they got Ray Park to do some of like the choreography. I know that in like the finale for the Clone Wars, he actually does capture.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if he was doing it here, but I don't know.
I think it's all Sam Witwer, I believe, now.
Sam Witwer is doing the capture.
At least for the acting part. They say like they did a whole thing. He talked about how he put like has his face painted in Maul tattoos for the mocap, so it's more accurate for like how it comes out.
Interesting. All right. Well, he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
But I know that they did that for Clone Wars, so I just had
Yeah.
wondered, but I guess not.
Yeah. And fun fact also, like the like I speaking of like I know that Sam Witwer's become the Maul voice, like do you know the original actor who voiced Maul in Phantom Menace is like the host of like a game show of like a reality show on Netflix?
Hmm. That's funny.
I did not know that. Who's the original voice actor?
Peter Serafinowicz. He is the host of the show
Oh,
$1 Million Secret on Netflix.
that. Oh, he is not who I thought would be voicing him.
Yeah, like
Interesting.
he's an incredible voice, that guy. And like he
And
basically
how many lines did Maul have in Phantom Menace?
like 5 or 6.
Yeah, right? Maybe even less.
It's like at last we can expose ourselves,
That's
or
like
at
the only
last
one I
something.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he reports to Palpatine also. But
He
basically
has three lines.
yeah. That's the original guy who does it. Like he has a tremendous voice, and like basically that show he hosts is basically like a hybrid version of like Traders for Netflix, and like he plays like a very goofy character on it, like sort of like Alan Cummings, like on steroids.
He
Huh.
has three lines. He says, "At
Yeah,
last we realize the Jedi will have revenge." That one. He says, "Yes, my master," at one point.
yeah,
And he also says, "Tatooine is a sparsely populated. If the trace was correct, I will find them quickly, master." That's it.
yep, that's it. So anything else
How
about?
much do you think they paid him for that?
Oh, he probably got like a decent bag for considering that was the first Star Wars movie forever.
He said 3 lines. He could have did that in 20 seconds.
Yeah, well, you don't know how much stuff that got cut out.
There was a monologue that got cut out. Yeah,
Yeah,
you were correct.
yeah. All right, so
Actually, they said that the monologue is cut out, but it shows up on TV. So if you watch the movie on TV, you can see it.
interesting.
You know what's interesting? Darth Maul, I was looking at Reddit. Darth Maul's very first lines were about revenge, and his last line was about being avenged.
Yeah, definitely had that planned out pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the vision quest. This is the last thing here, where like basically he goes on like after he survives and he basically has to like pull the cave wall down to like separate himself from the Inquisitors to give himself time to escape. He ends up like seeing a lot of like reflections of himself in like a reflecting pool. He sees like all these visions of his past, like him as a kid, him being recruited by Palpatine, leaving Savage behind, him being trained by Palpatine. And by the way, Max, Sam Witwer voices Palpatine in those flashbacks also, which is pretty cool.
That is an interesting twist of fate.
Yeah. Yeah, that going on. You get the very cool like animated look at Kenobi coming to slice his legs off like in silhouette, and then you get like the Clone Wars flashbacks. I believe I was saw somewhere like they did these with like they got smoke screen, smoke mirror thing, and played it over original footage from the animated show, which is pretty cool. So, Nick, how'd you feel about the Maul Vision Quest?
Well, it was great, and it was the highlight of the week. It was cool to see these scenes, or some of them for the first time, but some of them again as well. Like Savage's death was just replayed, but it shows you that Maul is suffering from a lot more than his legs being gone. He's suffering from a lot up here in the head. He's kind of We knew this already. This is not any news, but Maul's pretty wacky.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, I know you said you love this sequence here. I think I'm with you here because like it's cool to get like pieces of Maul story we hadn't seen before. Like you don't need like an extended flashback of him like being trained by Palpatine. You could figure out based on that one scene what that was like.
And
Yeah.
and before Max, you jump into it, I think this is the perfect way to do flashbacks.
Yep.
They're sweet to the point. It gets the message across, and it doesn't waste the whole episode doing a flashback.
Yeah, I liked they accomplished what they needed to accomplish in not a lot of time. And it almost makes you, or it kind of makes you sympathize with Maul that he's just like this broken, tortured soul. And you can see him also in the sequences where he's like looking at the reflection of himself in the puddle and he doesn't have the tattoos and it's him as a child. He's like, I hate you. I hate you. Like he doesn't like this version of him that's like scared and normal. He's just so filled with like rage and vengeance, and it's the only thing that's kept him going. And I don't know, it kind of rounds him out as when he was introduced in episode one, right? He has this super cool design. It's like, who is this guy? What are these tattoos? What's this lightsaber? It's got two ends, right? But like, and that sparked. It's like a Boba Fett effect, right? Like that sparked all this imagination about him. But that's all he is. But now you're kind of seeing this backstory, seeing more of the character, seeing more of the humanity to him, so to speak. That it's like, no, like this person has dealt with a lot, and he is just trying to find some way to fight through that and keep going. And I think that's good character development. Makes him like a real person, not just like an image that's really awesome.
Yeah, it's still crazy to think about. We talked about this, I think, a week or two ago on the pod. Is like the idea, like when you see Maul episode one, and then when you see what he becomes through Clone Wars and Rebel, about how he's like this Shakespearean plotter, and like he's got like all these soliloquies, and he's like have these long view plans, and he affirmed today he does have a plan to deal with the Empire, which he does tell Devin. He does a Rook. He hasn't fully reveal it yet, but like the fact we got that character over 3 lines of dialogue in Phantom Menace is incredible.
We've said it before. The look goes a long way. Boba Fett didn't even have a line, or did he have a line when he first appeared in the
I,
holiday special?
I think in Hollis actually he might
Yes,
have.
in the holiday special. In the
He talks.
original, in episode five, I don't recall, but
He
yes, in
says
the
like
holiday.
he says a few things in Empire Strikes Back, but point is, look at what has spawned off of Boba Fett's, the show, the movie coming out, the entire race of people, the entire history of the entire planet, all of that, just because he looked cool. Look what we're getting from Maul too, just because he looked cool. So when is the Captain Phasma show?
Maybe in 20 years.
Because that is the equivalent for the sequels. It's Captain Phasma.
Yeah, well, she's not nearly as popular as those other two
No,
were.
she's not. I mean, they listen. Brienne of Tarth is awesome in Game of Thrones, but didn't translate well to the Star Wars universe. It's a cool design, Phasma, but it was cool
Yeah.
for I don't know. It's still the same design as the Stormtrooper, though.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where they messed it up. Like going Chrome was kind of cool for something, but being the exact same as the Stormtrooper might have been the issue.
Also, I have to give our weekly shout out to Spybot here. Spybot taking down the Pro Droid was fun.
I think Spybot doesn't get enough talk on this podcast.
He got brought. Recovery Room Nick brought him up last week.
Yeah, I think he's really cool.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to say about these episodes before we start wrapping up?
Nothing else from me.
Nope, I'm all set.
All right. Let's get to our trackers here. Update the things that happened this week in terms of the tracker count here. It was tricky with the Maul kill count because you have to kind of freeze frame and see what he did, as opposed to like what the Mandos did and what like Icarus and Scorn did. I credit him with 4 kills, so like I have to go back and double check that, but it's up to 28 now. The Maul kill count in the course of the show,
That is 8 episodes. Okay, like 3 an episode. Okay.
and there's like it's all like top heavy too. There's like episodes he doesn't do anything. And there's episodes where he kills like 7 people at once.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up here, we do have some live action cameos to take off here. Marok obviously triggers a choice more. Nick, I give credit for the Vision Quest appearances of Kenobi and Palpatine, so we have to 6.
Sure.
Yep.
I'm with you.
All right. And Inquisitors, we are up to 2 different Inquisitors here because Crow is now joined Marok here. Max, think we get any more next week?
I feel like you have to have. I'm actually surprised, like Sidious or Vader hasn't appeared. One of them, I feel like, might at some point. I don't know. That's not technically an Inquisitor, but it's the same kind of realm of things.
It might be the next step, but we sent another Inquisitor, and then we were in trouble. Okay, maybe now we'll call either the Grand Inquisitor or Vader.
Yeah. One
And
thing
this
about
show,
Kenobi really. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Nick.
I was gonna say that this show has the potential to give us a Darth Maul versus Darth Vader, or I guess Maul versus Vader battle, and that I feel like I want it so bad. I think I'd be disappointed if we didn't get it.
I have a feeling we'll get it.
They
It
have to
would be
have that.
incredible. They've never spoken to each other.
I mean, they had the tease last week who Marok was on the phone with. They didn't answer, which I'm assuming is Vader at this point.
Could have been the Grand Inquisitor, which would suck.
I
I
don't.
thought it was. Go ahead.
No, I think it was the Grand Inquisitor that would have shown him.
I hope you're right.
At first, I thought it was Palpatine, but then I'm like, oh, it was the 11th brother. It's like the robe and stuff. Maybe it's someone bigger. I don't know.
Yeah, I
One
would
thing
feel
that's
like.
interesting
Yeah,
about
go ahead, Max.
well, when Obi-Wan Kenobi is coming at Maul in the Vision Quest scene, doesn't he have a green lightsaber?
Yeah, because
Because I imagine.
he uses Qui-Gon's because his
He
guy
used Qui-Gon's to cut himself in Phantom Menace.
Oh, right, because Darth Maul knocks his lightsaber into the shaft and then he gets
Yep.
Qui-Gon's.
Correct.
I was like, I'm pretty sure he fought him with his own lightsaber, but no, that does happen. Okay, I take that back.
They didn't really come at him. I think that's just more of how Maul remembers it, you know?
Because he sees him
Yeah.
like what? Because remember he leaps and just slices him.
It's true, yeah, it's true. He caught him off guard, regardless of if he was running or not, yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder here, like this is gonna be like with the Inquisitors, like Max, are you seeing the Deadpool movies?
I have seen the Deadpool movies, yes.
The joke we had back in the day with the Inquisitors on Obi-Wan was like, this is like the X-Men mansion in Deadpool, where it's only the same 2 Inquisitors at X-Men at the door. We only had 4 Inquisitors the entirety of Kenobi. So in fact, we went to the Inquisitor base.
Oh, like the Colossus and what's her
Yeah.
face. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be like, oh, it's always gonna be these two.
Yeah. When she opens the door, they was like, "Are you guys the only ones home?"
I can see that. Oh yeah, like where's the rest of them?
Yeah, because we went to the Inquisitor base. You only saw the same 4 Inquisitors in the Kenobi show.
Yeah. By the way, in Legends, there is a duel between Darth Maul and Darth Vader. It's in like a comic book thing,
Yeah.
but that it does exist in the lore. Just it's not canon anymore.
Yeah, we might bring it to canon at some point in the show. All right, so now we'll go to our MVP, LVP board. These are the best and worst characters through 6 episodes of the show. Nick, sorry, you want to say something?
No, I don't know. If I said something, it was an accident.
All right, so I'll share the screen here for the YouTube version against Sky Guys podcast on YouTube. The board here, Mr. Maul on top of the board, +9. Nick joined us last week with Devin +3. So Devin went from -1 to +3. She had a clean sweep last week.
But good for her.
Yeah. Vario got a point from me, Max. He's a +1 on the board
Okay.
way back in the day. Spybot, Nick gave a point last week, Nick D'Alessio, so he's on the board. Our -1s, Drea Lawson. He gave the title card animator an LVP in episode 1 because he did not like the style of title cards. Two Boots went to -2 last week because he was at 3. We all gave him LVP point. Nick Fraietta double tapped him.
Okay.
Then
He's
Diaz got -2 for dying. And then the bottom of the board has been a consistent tie between Jedi Master Palmer and Lawson at -4.
That'll change this week. Actually, no, it won't. But
All right.
we'll have some changes here.
Yes.
Which one is Palmer? Wait.
Diodaki. That's the joke is that because he played Palmer on 24. Like,
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense. Got it. Okay. I was like, what? Who's
Yeah.
this person?
all right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember his name. So, okay, he's just Jedi Master Palmer on the board just to make my life easier.
I just
That makes sense.
The All-State guy.
Yeah. And as tradition, as Nick has pointed out, we have called him Mr. Maul because he is not Darth anymore.
Hmm.
Correct.
All right, so Max, I will give you the floor. Actually, I'll start with the MVPs for the week here. I gave one to Two Boots. I said Two Boots has redeemed himself. He is off. He is off the list, off the shit list this week. He got a point for defying protocol, and Devin for kicking ass once again, and be a big part of why they avoided this trap here. Pete will give us his picks next week. Nick, where are you going?
I like your pick of Two Boots, and I'm going to do the same. I thought about giving him a double positive for what a good episode he had, but I did not.
Yeah.
I'm giving the other MVP to the 11th brother for literally being the coolest character I've ever seen in any Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think that if you take his design and just made him in a movie and just put him in one of the movies, it would be an absolute sell. Like it would be like Vader showed up in 77. People would go crazy. Like I know this sounds blasphemy to say this. His design is significantly cooler than Darth Vader's.
Yeah, so if we had, like, what if the Star Wars TV horror project he was talking about is just like Crow on a killing spree?
I mean, I think he has the best design of any character in Star Wars ever.
Okay, so big positives here for Nick on Crow.
Yeah, and listen, they make a Funko Pop now for him,
You're buying it.
so you gotta buy it for me.
Yeah. All right, Max, who are you giving the MVPs to?
He does have a very cool design. Well, they even have like an action figure and everything. I gotta give it to Devin. I think between getting the hover car and helping them get out of the car chase and then catching the trap that was set for them and helping them avoid that, she continues to be the MVP. Oh, I get 2 choices. Ooh.
Yes, you get a second one.
Um, I'm gonna give it to Mr. Maul for confronting his childhood trauma. Or his trauma in general. That's, you know what? Mental health is important, all right? Like you gotta fight through that shit.
Yeah, he has grown as a person for experiencing this.
Yes. So Devin and Mr. Maul.
All right, so Nick, who is your LVP of the week? You get to do 2 again.
So the first one I'm giving it to is I'm not sure what we're gonna call them, but the Mandalorian crew who tried to escape with the money who got blown up.
Oh, we're calling well, Mando's Mando cheap bastards.
Sure, yeah, they're my first ones for trying to steal and then getting blown up before they even took off.
Yeah.
So that goes to them. The second one I'm kind of struggling with, but I'm gonna give it to Lawson. I feel like he's just all over the place this whole show. He's not taking control of the situation at all, and literally everything that he tries backfires.
Yeah, he's behind the 8 ball the entire time.
Yeah.
All right. So, Max, who are your two LVPs?
I like the Three's Company Mando crew, the ones who get blown up in the ship. They think they're so smug, they're going to get out of there. You
Yeah,
know,
the cheap bastards.
Mando cheap bastards. I feel like Maul's whole crew in general is kind of an LVP. Like they get pretty decimated by the Empire.
Team Maul.
Team Maul, yeah.
All right. So Pete again will give us his next week. I actually gave Maul an LVP. I feel like you sort of gave the group here LVP. Maul is a big loser this week because he loses one of his Zabrak bros. His transport ship gets blown up. He basically gets his ass kicked by two Inquisitors. Like he's on the back foot and he loses a lot of credits in this exchange escape plan here. So he gets one from me. I gave Rook Cast one for not keeping her cheap bastards in line. And like, I mean, the second you tell money motivated people, leave your credits behind. It's more important that we fight with honor. Like, you need to know your workforce here. You did a bad job. That's she gets an LVP.
Good pick.
All right. Next up here, we'll do grade the episode scale of 1 to 10. 1 is worth 978 holiday special. 10 is up there with the finale of Clone Wars, the pinnacle of animated Star Wars content. So, Nick, I'll let you go first again here. Where are you going with this week's episode, chapter 7?
I don't know. So this is the first episode of the two. I think was a little bit worse. So I'll say it was a 7.5.
Max?
Yeah, I give it like a 7.
Okay. I think I was lower than you guys, and actually I'll give it a 7. I thought it was fine. I thought it was like nothing.
Wait, let me ask a clarifying question. Is the car chase scene in 7 or is it an 8?
It's an 8.
Kind of blend together. There's an 8. All right, definitely. Then this one's a 7.
All right. Next up, chapter 8. So Max, you go first on that.
Honestly, remember the car chase scene was an 8. I give it like an 8.5 or a 9. I just think between the Vision quest and that scene and like all the different set pieces and action sequences, like it was just a fun episode, and we got a little bit more of a peek behind the scenes with Maul.
So
Um,
you had to pick
give
one.
it give it 8.5.
Okay, so I think I'm pretty sure like I gave the group the same thing. I gave both these episode sevens. Though they're both fine. I thought I was kind of with Nick where it's kind of like underwhelmed a little bit with the expectations here, so I thought it was still fine. Nick, what are you doing?
Give it an 8. I liked it. I thought it was really good. I was expecting this to be a 10, and I was like a little disappointed that it wasn't. But I think it's still a very good episode, and I enjoyed it very much.
Yep, so that's it here. Before we go to the predictions here, go quick poll here. Characters who we think might die next week. Nick, you have anybody you're strongly feeling does not make it out of the finale?
Yeah, only one character though. I think it is the what is his name? Allstate man.
Oh, Diodaki.
Yeah, he's the only one that I'm actually really putting my money on.
You're convinced Diodaki's the one who dies next week.
I guess if I had to pick two, I'm picking Vario too. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm shocked he made it past episode 2.
Max, who are you going with in the death draft?
I think Docky. I think he's like Devin's tie to the light side of the Force, and once he's gone, she falls to the dark side and becomes Maul's apprentice, and maybe that's season 2. So, Docky,
Yeah,
done.
I'm with you on Docky. I think Docky's not going to make it out of this season alive. I think that's one thing for sure. I think Vario's a good shout, Nick, because I do feel like this could easily be that like Maul just finally double crosses him and just kills him because like he doesn't like the deal he makes with Dryden Voss. And I will throw out here, I'm not convinced Lawson gets the season 2 either. I think there's a good chance he dies to save his son.
Hmm.
Heroic.
I mean, we were setting up the whole thing. Like maybe Two Boots ends up like taking care of Lawson, like out of Riley Lawson at this point.
Could be.
All right. So last but not least, predictions for the finale. So I will start with mine. I didn't go too nuts on a couple of things. I said Diodaki. I did not say he dies. I said the Inquisitors get him. I'm assuming Crow or Marak will end him. Maul ends up picking up Devin. Dryden Voss, I think, brings Maul into Crimson Dawn as a sub boss. I think Maul has to report to Dryden Voss for now. That's my assumption on that, how that goes. So, Nick, what do you think happens?
So I think the Adaki's going to die in front, and I think that Devin is not going to team up with Maul yet, and that's going to carry over into the second season, and it's going to be like the repercussions of the death. So I think that she will die in front of Devin, and then the Maul stuff will happen next season with her.
Okay. Max.
I think Docky dies. Uh, does he die at the hands of the Inquisitors or does he die at the hands of Maul? That's a good question. I do think at the very least he dies in front of Devin.
Yeah,
Um,
I would assume it's Inquisitors for the most part.
I mean, it could be Maul, but right now they're kind of on different pages. Maybe Devin, as a result of that, goes and seeks Maul out, and she doesn't team up with him at the end, but she's like, I gotta go find this guy. So we're gonna say, just to keep things interesting, Docky dies in front of Devin. Devin goes to seek out Maul.
Yes, so that's an interesting spot here in terms of what's going on here. And in terms of next week here, the finale, just so people are aware of, it's been usually dropping at 3 o'clock, at like 3 a.m. Eastern time if you're on the East Coast,
New
midnight
time?
West Coast. According to the press release of the show, it will be at midnight of your local time zone throughout Star Wars Day. So
What does
they
that mean for us Sunday night into Monday?
correct.
Oh, I might watch it if I'm awake.
Yeah, so like they've set this up so like everybody around the world will start Star Wars Day with the Maul finale dropping in their time
That's
zone.
cool. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in this show's release schedule. I like the two per week thing. I don't mind. I don't care what day they do it. Not doing it at night and going back to the 3 a.m. releases is kind of killing it for me.
Well, I mean, they've never done this for animation. They've never put the animated shows at prime time.
Yeah, it's killing it for me. And it killed it. It killed it for me with those animated shows, all the animated shows that have come out. The nighttime release makes me want to watch it. It makes me want to be there live. The fact that I can't means I'll get to it, and then I never get to it. Right? I mean, I eventually do, but I like being told when I should be watching it.
You like having a set time.
Yeah, well, I know they got rid of the watch parties, but we used to do the watch parties for Ahsoka. That was great.
Those are fun. I wish they didn't get rid of that feature.
Yeah, I don't know why they did.
I don't either. So, Max, thanks for again for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to be. It's nice to talk with you guys about this show. I'm curious to see how it ends and where it goes.
Yeah. I also, part of me wonders the show, Nick, with the fact we got a season two renewal so quickly, it makes me wonder if this is sort of like the thing that happened with Daredevil Born Again, where it was like one big season is chopped into two seasons for content purposes.
Could be. That's what I'm kind of saying. I thought my original plan was, all right, Docky dies in see episode 5 or 6, and then this latter half of the season is Devin joining Maul. Maybe he dies in episode 10, and the second season is her joining Maul. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Maybe it's just spread out over more time.
could
When
be.
was it renewed for a second season? I didn't
Like
even know it was.
right at premiere day, they announced it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I agree with Nick then. If it was one season, he's probably dying halfway through because it's two. They're splitting it up.
Yeah, I think this could be sort of like the Daredevil thing, where like it was renewed, it was set for one big season. They split into two smaller seasons to have content for like consecutive years.
Yeah.
And who's making the show? Filoni?
Filoni is the EP, but I don't think he oversees day to day.
Okay, because I wonder it's like different than like an Acolyte situation where they're like, oh, we'll get 2 seasons, and it's like, well, you didn't. But this is more like people in charge are kind of running it, so they can kind of guarantee themselves more seasons, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Well, it's also more Clone Wars type content, and given how popular the Clone Wars is, it's almost like inevitable that it gets extra
I mean,
seasons,
Bad
right?
Batch got 3 seasons. This is gonna get more than one.
I
Right.
yeah, I mean, like I think this is getting at least like 4 seasons. I feel like it's
And
Well, if it does, I'd love to see some of the other characters that we're wait. I know we're about to see Dryden Voss, but like, um,
here in animation.
yeah, but what's his name? The dude, Gar Saxton, maybe. Like, we don't know how he came to come back. We know he's back later in the timeline. Maybe we find that answer.
Because we have a lot of real estate we can cover between here and where he shows up in Rebels.
Yeah, definitely. He could show up right before. I don't know, but it's, I wonder
It
how he gets back.
is interesting here. Thank you again for coming on, Nick. Also, let everybody know here on the Just and the Suffering podcast to recap the NFL draft with Daryl Slater of the Star Ledger here. Nick, how you feel the Giant draft?
That was great. Let's see what happens on the field.
Yeah. See what happens on the field. We'll be back next week. I would assume probably a midweek. You'll hear from us about the finale here. We're still scheduling that out in terms of when that's coming. Until then, may the force be with you.